You probably didn't play Death's Door, but you should have. I love indie games, and while I have seen people speaking about Death's Door, it's not nearly enough as I think it deserves. And with that being said, I wanted to share 4 things that I love about this charming indie game. Here's a question for you also. If you have completed it, what did you enjoy? Leave a comment down below. Exploration. If you're like me who loves to get dropped into a world with little instruction, then Death's Door is for you. You're just thrown into the deep end and off you go. You have a rough idea of where you want to go, but the game doesn't say how to get there. There are a few signs that say this area is this way, but you often walk into locked doors or blocked paths that you can't enter yet. With no map to hand, your orienteering skills have to be on point, trying to figure out what was where and which doors lead to which desired location. Which is fine, because while you're trying to find your way through, you'll frequently find something that you weren't even looking for, like a secret or a missable item. Every corner has a surprise, so if you're a person like me who likes to search every nook and cranny, it's got you covered. It's one of those games where it presents you with multiple paths, with one clearly being the one where you need to go, but there's always the one where it's like, I know there's something down there and I must go and check it. There's so many paths waiting to be discovered. Next is puzzles. I love a good puzzle, and Death's Door has plenty. Basically, every section has a puzzle theme of sorts, of a gimmick or making good use of an item recently acquired. And I will admit, some of the puzzles I really had to stop and think about, proper head scratchers. How and what item do I need here? Like, how do I clear this? I've searched everywhere, but I don't know what to do, only for the answer to be right in front of me. They are cleverly designed, and since you'll be doing a lot of backtracking through the world, you might even learn that something that you thought was nothing was actually a puzzle in disguise when you have the right items, and that in turn can take you to a new location for loot, or better yet, a boss fight. You could say that the puzzles and exploration go hand in hand. These loops that work well together seamlessly are what good games are all about. When a game does something well, you're not even supposed to notice these things. They're just supposed to work, and in Death's Door, it just works. Art style and creativity. Aesthetics are important. The art style of the world and characters in it need to capture players' attention. These days, you gotta dare to be creative. Graphical fidelity and photorealism are not enough by themselves to impress people anymore. You need to think outside of the box. Devolver Digital makes some of the most creative games out there, and that hasn't stopped with Death's Door. I said to a friend of mine, you need to check out this game, to which he replied, oh sweet, what is it about? And the surprise in my friend's voice hearing that it's about a sword-wielding crow who reaps souls will never get old. It's gorgeous to look at, and everything is so polished to the point where you wouldn't think that 2 people created this game. Yep, you heard that right. The attention to detail just walking through the world is stunning. The art style is intentionally simple, with a lot of the newfound graphical and animation techniques layered on top of that, and it makes for something really special. And you'd think that the world is flat and stuck in one camera angle, but there's moments where the camera shifts and it just looks fantastic. You can tell a lot of care has gone into this game. You might hear people say it's like a Zelda game, and that's absolutely true saying that, but I feel like it reminds me of what I remember playing games back in the day felt like. And don't hate me for this, but the soundtrack sort of reminds me of RuneScapes at times. It's got like an old school MIDI synth that like they couldn't actually process actual instruments, so they had to recreate them on a PC, but it's like a new version, and the soundtrack is incredible. I think games with deliberate combat systems scare people away before they've even given it a go. Boss fights are in tight arenas where one misstep could cost you your life, and not everyone likes too much of a challenge. Recently, Returnal on PS5 had an issue with just that. It was too damn hard for some people, and what made it worse is that since Returnal is a roguelike, when you die, that's it, back to the start with nothing, and some people simply couldn't beat the game because of its challenging nature. In Death's Door, that is not the case. It's challenging when it needs to be and makes you think twice before spamming the attack button, but even if you're caught off guard and you die, you go back to your last checkpoint and are free to try again until you beat whatever challenge it is you're facing, so there's no need to be scared. I saw someone on Twitter say that Death's Door is like a Souls-like Zelda game, and I wouldn't go that far, but it's a welcome challenge. Checkpoints and shortcuts are something that you unlock as you clear the levels, so you're not too far away from where you need to be. And once again, looping back to the puzzles because they add to the consistent challenge of the game, but in a different way. But both the puzzles and combat are things that you have to switch your brain on for. Some of the boss encounters, you have to, you know that thing you do where you're facing something really hard and you have to sit up. You were relaxing before, but you realize now it's game time, so you have to sit up. Not even that will help you, but when you do finally beat it, it feels incredible because most of the time it was yourself holding you back. It wasn't items or stats, it was just you. Everything mentioned here and more make for a fantastic little game, and it would be a shame for you to miss out on it. Once again, let me know what you thought of Death's Door if you've completed it already, or even if you're midway through. My name is Durrani from VG247 on why I think you should play Death's Door. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. It's free and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Take a look at our other videos if you like. Also, check out VG247.com for around the clock gaming news and updates.